Dragonfolk, the time is now. We have more information on the release of Outsiders, including a plethora of new awesome things. Not only are we getting not one, not two, but 6 different heroes to look over, but we also know the location and the date for Pro Tour Season 3. Let's take a look. Dragonfolk, welcome on in to the lair. My name is Ashen Wings. I'm so happy to have you all here. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I know I am. Today, I spent a lot of time on Twitter waiting to hear about the Pro Tour announcement for where it is going to be held in North America. And while waiting, I chit-chatted about the sleeves that we're going to be playing in the Pro Quest. Maybe even talking about the Dromai and Phi and why you should or shouldn't play dragons into the meta. And lo and behold, while refreshing the Flesh and Blood website for the 18th time today, this had dropped. A new article from LSS regarding Outsiders. And boy howdy, does it talk about a lot of information. It goes over a lot of stuff in this article. The link will be down in the description below, so please take a look at it. Let me know what you guys think about the whole thing, but let's go ahead and get right into it. I want to show you guys everything that is coming out in Outsiders because, wow, it kind of threw me for a loop, I'm not going to lie. I was not expecting this kind of just complete punch to the face, you know what I mean? This thing fluster-fisted me so bad. Maybe I should reword that. Anyway, Outsiders. So, look at this, right? First and foremost, this is the splash art for Outsiders. Looks super cool. But we have some characters in here that look new, right? Or at least a good portion of them. They look new. So let's go ahead and go over this entire article and what it is. You'll see I have some tabs up here. We'll talk about those as we come up to them. Outsiders is a standalone booster set that takes you down into the pits. A sprawling web of underground caverns and canals, home to all manner of backstabbing and skullduggery. Outsiders is the first Flesh and Blood draftable set to feature multiple heroes within each class, making it the most dynamic draft experience yet. You're drafting Assassin, but are you Arachne or Uzuri? A new character? You're drafting Ranger, but are you drafting Azalea or Riptide? You're drafting Ninja, but are you Katsu or Benji? So it looks like Katsu and Benji both coming back in. For the record, I went over all this already, but Katsu and Benji are making a reappearance. Azalea's making a reappearance, and there are, of course, Arachne making a reappearance, but there are new characters in here, Riptide and Uzuri, who are a new assassin and a new ranger, but we'll look into them later. Each hero has their own strengths, strategies, and card preferences. You'll find yourself wanting to draft Outsiders again and again to explore the depth of the pits has to offer. So, there's a product sheet. We will go over this product sheet later because it is kind of important. But these are the new heroes that are here in Outsiders. Is these 3 heroes here. A mix of new heroes and returning fan favorites are featured in Outsiders. New heroes include Uzuri, a spider operative assassin, and ringleader of a band of misfits that includes a new version of Arachne and Riptide, a trap-based ranger. So Uzuri is essentially, from what we can tell here, the leader of the same clan that Arachne is from. And we'll go ahead and take a look at that in here. This is actually Arachne, believe it or not. This is Arachne's solitary confinement. And we'll go ahead and take a look at their actual card itself, but it looks like this must be Arachne after Arachne had gone and killed the Emperor, possibly. There's this giant mass on the back of Arachne, which makes me think that Arachne may be some kind of dreg or something of that sort. But then we go ahead and look over at Uzuri in the middle here. This is our leader, and you can see what a sick shot you have here with Riptide over here on the left and Arachne over here on the right. These are, I'm assuming these are the Black Deck Whispers. What, I mean, goodness gracious. If this does not scream right here that we're getting an Assassin chess piece, I don't know what I'm talking about. But this looks so, so cool. I'm excited to see Uzuri Switchblade. I'm excited to see what they have to offer in this meta. And then, of course, Riptide, a new ranger who uses traps. Now you'll see there's no bow that this character is using, and I believe this is actually a dreg. Riptide is in fact a dreg, if my lore is correct. So that's pretty insane to see, like, all kinds of different individuals in the Assassin Guild here. So pretty crazy stuff here. However, not all things start out as they become, and as the past always seems to have a way of infiltrating our present, a duo of wandering Mysterian ninjas threatened to trigger memories of Azuri's origin, a time and place where she didn't fit in, where she felt like an outsider. And so that, of course, brings us to our heroes that are in this set. There are a lot. And I mean, to be honest, I know I said like 6, but there's really not 6-ish, but there is. You've got the 6 heroes, and we'll go over each one of them, right? Azalea being one, Riptide being another in both a adult and a young hero. Arachne getting a new young version of themselves. Uzuri getting a old and young version of themselves. Katsu being in here, and then of course Benji. So I guess there's like 5 heroes technically. But of course we see Azalea coming back. Azalea, of course, now, you know, the Azalea cult reigns true, and everybody is enjoying their stuff they got from Dynasty. And now we are going to see more Ranger support in this set, not just for Azalea, but also for Riptide. And this is kind of interesting because I believe, you know, Azalea doesn't really like to use traps, right? It's just kind of not the great thing, but I'm curious to see what kind of trap meta is going to occur in CC, because Riptide is going to get an adult hero. So let's go ahead and look at that. Obviously, we have young Azalea in here too for people who are playing the young versions. So, you know, you've got the Blitz tournaments and Blitz drafts and so on and so forth. So Azalea Young is also available in here too. Riptide Lurker of the Deep is our new ranger here. Revealed preview season March 4th is when we will know more. So revealed preview season is going to be starting March 4th. So that's important to note. We'll obviously go over that when we go over the dates and everything too. But this is a ranger with 38 health. Not 40, 38. That is a 2 health less than everybody else. And I'm really wondering why that is. Why would this ranger be 2 health less? It very well could be something to do with the fact that they're obviously, you know, full of toxins from the pits, so it could be the case. But in Intellect of 4, right, we're still looking pretty good here. It is a token, so it's not like this is a legendary hero or anything. This is the young version, coming in at 19 health for Intellect, and again, another token. Looks like this was just Riptide before they kind of got fully toxified, if you would, right, in the pits. Looks like he was just a fishmonger, so probably, obviously, he's got a very nautical theme to himself. Very interesting concept. I do like to see that, but I'm curious to see what the trap-based ranger is going to bring to the table as far as the meta goes. Then we get into Arachne's Solitary Confinement. Again, we don't know much about Arachne. This is the technically second printing of Arachne immediately, right? We had Arachne in Dynasty, and we had Arachne Huntsman, right? The older Arachne that is used for CC, but this Arachne is not going to be used for CC. So this is a young hero, a different version of Arachne with only 19 health. I'm seeing a pattern here where essentially they're just down a couple beads of health for some certain reason. So I'm wondering what that is, but it definitely seems to be what a gory picture this is. Not to mention, you also see that the little outline here is very interesting in the sense that it's like barbed and like toxified here. You see a lot of like a toxic waste barrel up here, so maybe this is a weird, yeah. Riptide's got it too. So this is just the border for the pits, it seems, for the heroes, is this, barbed wire and toxic waste kind of concept. Pretty neat. Then we go ahead and move into Azuri's Switchblade. Again, we don't know much about Azuri, but I'm assuming that Azuri is going to be the stealth mechanic that is going to be initiated in here. So there's no, new hero type in here, but there's several of the same hero type in here. And now we are getting our second assassin immediately after coming out in Dynasty. We are getting more assassins. And Uzuri is another assassin that is going to be in CC. They start at 40 health. She starts at 40 health. And 4 intellect, so right around the same as everybody else. She, of course, does have her younger version of herself, which is an interesting turn of events. Does look a lot like Mysteria in the, maybe Uzuri was a ninja before they were an assassin, which does make quite a bit of sense. Would also explain a stealth mechanic, because if they were a ninja, right, that seems like a ninja thing to learn to be able to become a better assassin. So Uzuri seems to have quite a bit of tricks up her sleeve. I'm curious to see. Also you see Azuri's got that little Mysteria border over here, so it's kind of neat. But just a younger version, but not as hardened in her adult form. Then, of course, we have the return of Katsu. Katsu is, a ninja that just got a whole bunch of support in Dynasty with the Crouching Tiger stuff, so we're going to see whether or not there's more ninja stuff in here. Obviously, it's not like Ninja needed more things. This is probably going to be a really, really good announcement for the 5 players who now have access to even more ninja stuff because of this set. But Katsu being, the kind of main ninja in here, you're not going to get any Draconic stuff for Fi. Katsu is probably going to get the glue that ties in all of the Crouching Tiger stuff to kind of make it a better, well-rounded experience in the CC meta. And of course, you can play young Katsu, that's just a given. And Benji also makes a reappearance. Benji was in Crucible, I believe. Yeah, right down there, Crucible. So Benji will be making an appearance as a young hero in here. And it's kind of insane to see Benji. I mean, I think it's just meant to be a fun little young hero extravaganza, right? Like maybe you can draft with young and then draft with old, right? And draft with adult. So seems to be the case, but is definitely an interesting time, that is for sure. So I'm very, very happy to see there's just so many heroes coming in here, right? Trap-based Ranger. Oh my gosh. So those traps may end up being a more popular thing now. So if any of you guys have traps on you, make sure to keep those in check. Then we have down here the introduction of the new Marvel cards that will be in this set. Outsiders introduces new hybrid cards that can be played by 2 different classes. Hybrid cards enhance the drafting experience, allowing you to keep your options open. The 3 most iconic hybrid cards from Outsiders appear as Marvel Research Notes that perhaps hold the answers to the origins of the 3 deadly diseases that plague the inhabitants of the pits. So you'll see here we have another card spoiler with Codex of Frailty. It costs 0. It's a 2 pitch. It's a yellow pitch. Each hero puts an attack action card from their graveyard face down into their arsenal. Each hero that does discards a card. Create a Ponder token under your control and a Frailty token under each opponent's control. Now, I don't know what a Frailty token is, but I'm sure it is probably something not great, if I'm being honest. And not to mention, look at these Marvel ones, though, right? Don't get me wrong. If I'm being entirely honest, I think it looks a little too busy. But I do think that it is very beautiful in and of itself. And I think it will be a great collector thing to get if you happen to pull one. Although, again, we're looking at a card that does have very PvE sense to it, right? It seems like it's each hero puts an attack action card from their graveyard face down, right? Each hero. Now, normally, right, it'd just be 2. Both heroes do whatever. but each hero. So you get a lot of more each hero cards in this one. And not to mention the fact that this card is an assassin or a ranger action. Or really, it's an assassin and a ranger action. So you can play this card in assassin or you can play it in ranger. So it's useful in many different ways. So I guess there will be several hybrid cards. Only 3 of the most iconic hybrid cards will appear as research notes Marvel cards. So that's kind of interesting. Then there's a map for the pre-release stuff. If you're not sure which area near you is doing pre-release stuff, I'd check that out. And then we look at the key dates. Card preview season starts March 4th, which is still almost 2 months away. Pre-release events in selected stores worldwide, March 17th through the 20th, a Friday through a Monday. So it will be a weekend for that being the case. And then, of course, the release date is March 24th, 2023. There are 239 cards in the set, 1 Fable, 5 Legendary, 31 Majestics, 51 Rares, 128 Commons, 20 Tokens, and 3 Marvels. So there's only 3 Marvels in this set, so if you happen to pull a Marvel, it's probably one of those research note cards. 16 cards per pack, 24 packs per display, 4 displays per case. Designed for booster draft, sealed deck, and constructive play, contains cold foils in there. MSRP per display is $109.90. So it looks like the price had gone up for MSRP per display, but the map pricing is MSRP less than 20%. So essentially, if you're going to map that, I'm sure it's going to be going for a little bit less. But it looks like $109 for a box, which is kind of a lot. So, although this has got a lot of stuff in it, right? 239 cards in the set. That's a lot of cards to look over. So many great things. We're going to go ahead and take a look at all this now, right? This is the packaging that you're going to get. 24 booster packs support 1 8-player draft pod or 4 sealed decks. This is just the entire booster box itself. Looks like it's got Uzuri, Arachne, and Riptide over here on the box, kind of blowing some up like they're really, really cool. Then we've got the packs, right? You've got Uzuri on one pack. You have Arachne Solitary Confinement in another pack. And then Riptide on the last pack. So with that being the case, that's kind of everything here. But now we're going to get into this. There's even more to date with this entire concept. You even have Blitz decks down here. 40 card pre-constructed decks plus hero, weapon, and equipment cards. 6 decks per display, 1 of each hero. Designed as a fun and fast way to play Flesh and Blood, perfect for kitchen table gaming. So now we know that Uzuri, Arachne, Riptide, Azalea, Katsu, and Benji are all getting Blitz decks coming into this Outsiders set, which is kind of cool because Benji did not ever have a Blitz deck. Azalea did not have a Blitz deck, I don't believe. Katsu had a CC deck, but not a Blitz deck. And then, of course, you have the 3 new heroes having their own Blitz decks as well. So I'm really curious to see what the cards are going to be that come in this. But what I wanted to talk about is the product overview here. And we'll kind of go over what each of this is here as we mosey on through this set. So here we have the product sheet for Flesh and Blood. First, let's talk about the important thing, that is the Pro Tour. Flesh and Blood Pro Tour has been announced. $200,000 in US cash prizes. It's April 27th through the 30th, 2023 in Baltimore, Maryland, USA. So that is where the Pro Tour is going to be held. It's officially in Baltimore, Maryland. So get your tickets ready, get all that stuff going. That is where it is going to take place. So late April, which means that after this ProQuest season, you have about like 3 months essentially to kind of get your stuff together, get all the things prepped, and then Pro Tour is going to happen with the Outsiders release. It's going to be a wild, wild, wild time. I'm so excited. Of course, Outsiders, preview season starts March 4th. This gives more information on the set itself. Again, just pretty much everything we had gone over, right? Cold foils, the rarity distribution is kind of an interesting thing here. You have cold foils 1 per 24 packs. So you're almost guaranteed a cold foil per box. 1 rainbow foil per pack. So you're guaranteed a rainbow foil. A rare or higher, 1 to 2 per pack. A common, you have about 11 to 12 per pack. And 2 tokens per pack. So you're guaranteed a cold foil almost every box. At least according to the rarity distribution. So, not that it's going to be a guarantee. Some will have 0, some will have probably 2, but it's probably going to be right around the uprising where, each box has a cold foil. And of course, these Marvel cards are cold foil as well. So, probably 5 legendary equipment, all being cold foil, the Fable being cold foil, and the 3 Marvel cards being cold foil. You're looking at a whopping 9 cold foil cards in this set. So pretty easy to collect if you're doing that. Then of course we have some SKUs for the the packs themselves, so on and so forth. We're even going over the Blitz decks here. There's 6 Blitz decks being released here to kind of get people interested in Flesh and Blood, bringing people together in the Flesh and Blood. There's going to be 6 of these decks coming together, giving us a whole bunch of information. Like, this is going to be a wild time. And there's so much variety here. Even though these are 2 Rangers, these are 2 Ninja, and these are 2 Assassin, they're all going to play in a completely different way. So I'm very, very excited to see that. I know my buddy has been looking to get a Benji deck together and a Katsu deck together. So for us to kind of start with a nice little Blitz deck, I'd be curious to see what happens here. So recapping, essentially what we've got is we have 6 young heroes being introduced in the set, and then 4 adult heroes being introduced in the set. That's Uzuri, a new hero, Riptide, a new hero, Katsu, and Azalea are all being introduced in this set. Of course, Azalea and Katsu we are pretty familiar with, so there are only really 2 new heroes in here for CC, but for Blitz and everything else, they got a whole bunch of new set. 3 new heroes in Uzuri and Arachne and Riptide. So very, very cool to see Blitz getting a bunch of support in here as well. And not to mention, after all this, we also found out that the Pro Tour is April 27th through the 30th in 2023 in Baltimore, Maryland. So make sure to, get your stuff together right now. Everybody's going to be prepping their flights, all the casters, all the people who are getting all the information for this. Make sure to check it out, right? This is going to be a fantastic time for Flesh and Blood. There's a lot of stuff coming in here, and I'm really curious what the draft format is going to be with these hybrid cards and with the new heroes that are coming out, how they're going to switch up the meta, what things are going to change. It's all speculation, but I cannot wait to discuss with all of you in the comments what you all think. So let me know down there what you guys think about all this. Maybe you have gleaned something that I have not. You know what I didn't do is I didn't look through here to see whether or not there is a hyperlink to something. So maybe I should check that. But anyway, that's all she wrote. Can't wait to hear from you all in the comments. While you're down there writing that comment, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel as well if you have not already. We're going to be talking about any leaks that happen to go through as far as Outsiders as the time goes on, but obviously March 4th we'll learn more about any previews that will occur. But I think a lot of what we're going to see now from this point is people prepping for ProQuest, and then maybe right at the end of January when the ProQuest is done, people are going to get ready for the calling, and then maybe after that first calling in Indianapolis, which I will be attending, I think a lot of people are going to start switching their strategies and learning about the other heroes, possibly picking up some Majestics or some equipment that might be preferable to certain heroes, just to kind of be more prepared for when the meta changes. So I can't wait to see what happens in Outsiders, and I know you can't wait as well. So thank you all so much for watching. I do truly appreciate your support, and I will see you all in the pits. Nerd out.